Electromagnetic Flowmeter installation. The MagFlow 6410 is securely packed for a safe transportation. As you open the box, you will find a documentation package which contains the installation manual and also the calibration certificate. The MagFlow 6410 is shipped fully assembled and ready for installation. Important handling instructions. Do not lift the flow meter by the top mounted transmitter in case of an integral type flow meter. Do not lift the flow tube by its casing. Always lift the flow meter of size DN200 and above using the eye bolts. Always rest the flow meter only in its upright position on the pedestals provided and not on its casing. Do not drag the flow tube with its lining facing the ground. This will damage the lining. Do not roll the flow tube over its flanges. This will damage the flanges and also transmitter or the junction box. Do's. Flow tube must be full of liquid to avoid erratic measurement results. Ensure straight pipe length on either ends of the flow tube. 5 times pipe diameter length of piping upstream and 3 times pipe diameter downstream from the center of the flow tube. The flow tube may be installed in horizontal pipelines, preferably with a slight upward gradient in the direction of the flow. The piping layout must prevent any build-up of air. Any entrained air should be carried out of the flow tube by the liquid flow. Ensure that installation location is such that water or moisture does not enter the electrical termination area. In the case of an integral type flow meter, the transmitter comes pre-mounted atop the flow tube and therefore gets physically installed along with the flow tube. In the case of remote type flow meter, a junction box comes pre-mounted atop the flow tube. The coil and electrodes cable is delivered by connecting it to the junction box. The transmitter along with its mounting bracket is delivered separately. The integral transmitter has IP65 protection which should be installed above ground in secured location. In the case of underground installation, the flow meter should have a remote type of transmitter. The signal and coil cables connecting the transmitter and flow tubes are sensitive to electrical noise. It should be ensured that such cables are passed through metal conduits which are separated from the conduits carrying HT and LT power cables. Tightening of flange bolts. Apply a thin layer of fresh industrial grease to the threads of the bolt prior to tightening. Tighten all the mounting bolts uniformly without under or over tightening of any bolts. Tighten the bolts in a cross sequence as per the flange's size. Use an appropriate spanner or torque wrench. During the first pass, tighten to approximately 50%. During the second pass, approximately 80%, and only during the third pass to 100% of the maximum torque. Once the flow tube has been mounted, fill the pipeline gradually, preferably with water instead of processed liquid, and confirm that the entire mounting is leak-free. Even if minor leaks are noticed, check the axial alignment of the flow tube with the upstream and downstream pipe lengths, cleaning of gasket, the rating of gasket material and proper tightening of the bolts. After eliminating the leakage, allow the process liquid to pass through the pipeline. Don'ts. Never install the flow tube that will cause it to remain empty. Even partial flow should be avoided. Pipeline layout should be modified in such a way that flow tube will always remain in the full flow condition with water. Never install the flow tube in vertical pipelines with the liquid flow in the downward direction. Do not install a flow meter in close proximity to heavy electrical equipment, power transformers, HT and LT power cables, and source of powerful electromagnetic radiation. Optional but desirable. Flow meters of sizes up to TN300 generally require factory calibration, so a bypass arrangement can be provided for easy removal and reinstallation. For flow meters installed at outdoor locations or underground pipeline, suitable size chambers can be constructed around the flow tube for safety and for easy maintenance.